Nakamura company. So.
Characterize myself as good, but
so what did you see?
I don't. It's just like
computers set up, and then a bunch of girls in schoolgirl outfits.
Also, yeah, I don't know, age inappropriate.
I got evil mushroom. Hey, what's going on? It's Jeff Gersman, GiantBomb.com. We're here, Tokyo Game Show, day one, Ryan Davis.
We just showed up, we got our badges, we're registered. Show floor opens in about 20 minutes, something around there. We're standing in front of the giant Norton antivirus robot.
Yeah, he's a robot that saves your computer from something. They have a cage also that no one's in the cage right now, hoping that they trap viruses in the cage as the day goes on. But they were playing a song down here that started out like House of Pain's Jump Around, and I got really excited, but then it was something else, some other kind of Japanese rap music.
I have nothing else to add to that. It's surreal.
Fantastic. So why don't we go inside and see what's going on at the show? But before we do that, I want you to turn around and film the girl that's talking on camera over there doing very like Japanese finger sign type stuff. Hello. There you go, Tokyo Game Show. It's happening with or without us, so we better get in there. Hello. We are inside the Tokyo Game Show. This is the Capcom booth. We're going to take a walk around and see what Capcom has to show because we have these cool... I can flex a little bit here, but I don't think that's going to work because I don't get out a lot. This is going to be right here, the biggest game that Capcom is showing. The hugest lines of maybe the entire show will be right here. Monster Hunter 3, or Try, as they put up there. But as you can see, like the show just opened at 10 o'clock. It's like 10:05 or something like that. Already this mass of people rushed right here to be at Monster Hunter. So let's make our way around the line here. Here we have, Gyakuten Saiban, which is the Phoenix Wright series. And this guy is talking very loud into this megaphone. This is Tatsunoko versus Capcom, Cross Generation of Heroes for the Wii. And this is the fighting game that merges, the Capcom characters with the anime fighters from the world of Tatsunoko, like Gatchaman and like the G-Force guys, basically. The G-Force in the US. I don't know what they're called in Europe. I think they're called something else there too. But yeah, that's hot fighting action that I have not seen yet, so I'm very excited about that. Here we have Biohazard Degeneration. This is the movie that is being put out, the Resident Evil like animated film or whatever. And yeah, it's a movie about Resident Evil. Let's close it out here. If we get in close here, we can see. Dude, those people are playing Street Fighter 4 on a PlayStation 3. I don't want to freak you out or nothing, but those guys are playing the home version of Street Fighter 4. Did I say 3? I said PlayStation 3. Street Fighter 4 for the PlayStation 3 is in here. And dude, I just kind of want to. Well, we're gonna play all the Capcom stuff a little bit later, but I would love to run in there right now and just play some of that myself. But yeah, that's and of course, any Street Fighter game wouldn't be complete without food. And that's about gonna do it. That's what Capcom's showing here at Tokyo Game Show. Looks like a pretty good spread. It's definitely like a well-designed booth. So, yeah. Hello, our coverage of Tokyo Game Show continues with Capcom's own Ben Judd. Now, Ben, I'm sorry to have to interrupt your workout like this.
No problem. As you can see, I have my circus performer Siegfried with me. It's a very sexy young boyish face and a nice tight-assed match. We're prisoners in a hot, sweaty man prison.
So, where are you at in the development of Bionic Commando? I mean, you finished up Rearmed, it came out, big-ass, huge success, right?
Yes, correct.
So now you're finishing up the 2009 release of Bionic Commando. How's it going?
Is he gonna get out of the shower? Ultimately, Rearmed is great. I think it sort of brought the series to a whole new sort of group of gamers, which is exactly what we wanted to do. But now that that's out, thank goodness, because that team has now joined the 3D team, and we are in the final polishing phase. So we are very close to finishing it.
Very cool. So let's see here. There was a quote from you a while back where you were talking about Tokyo Game Show, and I believe the quote was "fucking ace."
Oh, okay.
Of something that was something left to say about the game. Well, here we are, Tokyo Game Show. What is the fucking ace?
Can I show you the ace?
Yeah, it's a very dangerous question to ask when you're dressed like this.
That is a different ace. Unfortunately, the announcement we plan to make here is not going to be for another 3 or so weeks at least. Okay. So that's kind of slid out. That was the initial plan, but it's changed. It's still an ace. It's still, well, I believe the phrase was make your balls pucker.
Yeah.
I believe it will still do that. So
Great. So is it?
for sure.
Can you at least say, is it a Bionic Commando related announcement? Or are we talking about like what's next for Ben Judd?
Ben Judd is so yesterday's news, so it's going to be a Bionic Commando related announcement. But it's going to be something that even if you're not a Bionic Commando fan, you can appreciate. So how's that for a zinger?
Very exciting.
It's almost as good as a salty Swedish candy. Look at this. Look at the monkey.
How?
It's laughing because it knows how shitty this candy is.
So with the development of Bionic Commando finishing up, what are some of the things that really stand out to you that you're like really proud of that are starting to come together? You're like, yeah, we did it, and kind of what are you waiting to see come together as you're polishing?
I guess there were probably two things I'm really, really proud of. One is that Capcom, again, took the risk. They really are on the cutting edge, and it's very tough to sit there and throw out millions of dollars as a Japanese publisher to work with a Western developer. And, you know, they hadn't really put out a console game yet. So there's a lot of unknowns to take that and then bank on me, who's a first-time producer, to be able to just have enough faith in something to roll the dice, which is something that traditionally Japanese companies don't do, is something that I totally respect, and that we've gotten this far and nobody's cut the project or nobody said, uh-oh, the design style is too different, we don't get it, you know. The fact that it's come this far is something I'm really proud of, and it shows that Capcom is one of the premier Japanese designers, publishers, and I think that you're going to see other Japanese publishers imitate that, mark my words. The other thing I wanted to say I'm really proud of is that the whole way that the marketing came together was having the podcast, and then from there having a serial comic book and getting to work with a really talented comic book creator staff, and then having BCR come out to sort of, again, fuel the fire to Bionic Commando, and just being able to go step by step, plan that out, and have that work as a single strategy to try and get Bionic Commando out of this 20-year hiatus back into the spotlight.
Now, is that something you see yourself maybe duplicating next time around after Bionic Commando's out, assuming it does well and all that stuff? Do you see yourself kind of starting over again and working on another downloadable title to get people excited about another Capcom franchise that they may not have heard about in a while? Not at all a leading question, Strider?
That does not sound like a loaded question at all, especially since I'm being so open and showing you my everything.
Well, that's why I had to ask. It's like, where is Speed Rumbler re-speeded?
Gunsmoke re-smoked. Forgotten Worlds re-forgotten. Strider re-strided. Anyways, Capcom has a fantastic library. They are not doing enough with their old titles. I think that they should definitely try this again if it works out. And again, I think that unfortunately for these titles, some of them are so old that there's not any kids nowadays that remember them. You'll get like the 5%, 10% of hardcore gamers that'll buy it.
Right.
But in order to make financial sense, you need to get other people that have not played it before, and therefore doing like the Xbox Live, arcade, PlayStation Network, PC, whatever, step up, show them what it's about, and getting more and more people on it, connecting that community. I think that's a great idea that they should do. For me personally, we'll have to see what happens in my future. I know that there are several options that are on the table, but it's very difficult. It's being in the sandwich between two different cultures, having the time lag that occurs, language barriers, all of that stuff, trying to get through it is never easy. And then, of course, in Japan, the sheer amount of hours that you're required to work. I'm working from 8 a.m. till 2 a.m. constantly, and you just really can't build a life around it. So there's a lot you have to sacrifice, and I guess I have to sit down and say, even though this next project is definitely going to be a fantastic one and worthy of making, is it something where I will need to sacrifice another 3 years of my life doing that. So a lot of things you have to think about.
Yeah, and I mean, we don't want to cut into any more of your robe time, so I think we're going to be on our way here.
Thank you very much, Jeff.
Yeah.
It was a pleasure. Next time, I expect to see you in the shower box.
I don't get into showers with clothes on. Them's the rules, so look out for that. Hey, what's up? TGS Day 1 is over, and as such, this is the end of our video. We saw a lot of crazy stuff today, not the least of which was this dude. What's up, son?
Hello, friends.
It's Miguel Lopez of GameSpy?
GameSpy, yes.
GameSpy, I've heard of that site.
Yeah. It's
They make a nice matching service for first-person shooters.
Yeah, comrade.
that is one of our core competencies. We're trying to expand into other things, but yeah, you've definitely played games on our service.
I have, it's true. Sometimes without even knowing it, some of these console games, it's amazing.
Well, don't go as far as to call it malware, but it's pretty pervasive.
All right, I'll hold back on that then. So today was a day of like breakout sessions. You guys saw a bunch of the Sony stuff and went around, saw a bunch of business. I ran around, played some games, went and talked to Capcom. But we don't know. What did you see?
Pretty much the same things you did.
Right.
Spent most of the time in Capcom actually, and it culminated in a Street Fighter 4 match where I mismapped one of the buttons, so I was completely gimped half the time I was playing.
Yeah, when I was playing, they were set to, it was the sticks, but it was set to the joystick controls, so it was all screwed up.
They actually let us have at the configuration, but I managed to screw that up too.
Nice work, nice work. So did you go to the Microsoft thing and all that? Did you sit down for hours and hours?
Yeah, we were there, and it was a keynote from
John Shepard.
John Shepard, yeah. It was preceded by guys from luminaries from the Japanese industry, business execs, and frankly, man, it was you had to endure a really rough translation half the time. There were two people who were alternating back and forth. One of them was rough, the other one was okay, and you feel like you got half the story ultimately. But yeah, I mean, don't want to talk at length about that, but it'll be
true.
Yeah, indeed.
So Brad, you went and played Resident Evil 5 up in the Capcom suite. You guys were playing some co-op. What'd you think?
You can strafe now. That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Strafing new to Resident Evil. Yeah, it's not a full-on Gears of War strafe, but it gets the job done.
It still got to, you do like a little lasso around when you want to do it 180.
You have a lasso in that game?
You do.
That's awesome.
It's one of those razor lassos like Kratos has.
That's ill. And Ryan, you played a lot of the stuff at the Sony booth today?
Yeah, I played a few of the PSP games. We talked about that a little bit earlier. I played some Resistance Retribution, and then I also went to a breakout session for that where they talked a lot about some of the connectivity features that game has with the PS3, which...
PSP Plus.
Yeah, PSP Plus, and then in Infected mode. Which,
Infected Plus.
I'll have a preview of that up in a little bit, so you can read all about that on the site.
On the site. So yeah, that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow with more stuff. More Miguel Lopez, as always. Thanks for being here.
Pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
But yeah, thanks, Miguel.
Thanks for being here. Peace. See you tomorrow.
そろそろよろしいですか。はい。じゃああと少し。はい、それでは終了させていただきます。どうもありがとうございました。
Day 2 begins now. Tokyo Game Show 2008 is go. We're here, ready to do some business. You guys actually went and saw some games already, or went to some session type stuff, some appointment type stuff. You saw the White Knight Chronicle?
I saw White Knight Chronicles, new level 5 RPG. They talked a lot about there being a single player portion of the game, as well as a separate multiplayer, like online, like 4-player questing system where you create your own character and level it up and stuff like that. Didn't show a ton of the game, but definitely got more of a sense of what that game is about than I've gotten from anything else they've shown so far. It's kind of like, you know, your typical medieval fantasy RPG stuff, but filtered through crazy giant Japanese robots.
Spectacular. And Brad, you, speaking of giant robots, you went and saw a guy that's not a robot. Tell me about Halo 3 Recon.
Yeah, I went to not see Halo 3 Recon, but I listened to some dudes talk about it. It's Luke Smith, Brian Gerard from Bungie were there. They basically like dropped some of the top level bullet points about what the hell Halo 3 Recon is. So it is a boxed game. It's like a full-on retail, presumably $60 campaign. It's set during Halo 2. At the time the Master Chief is on Delta Halo, you're a dude in New Mombasa after the Regret, the Prophet, I think. It's been a while since Halo 2, but it's after he leaves Earth. So now you're just in like this dense, occupied, Covenant-occupied urban environment. As a guy, like you're one of those ODST soldiers, so you're not like a Spartan.
So you don't even have like shields and stuff, do you? Or you probably have shields, but not. But you're a dude.
That question was asked, and they were super cagey about any kind of hard details about the gameplay. Like they did say, like you're not a robotic super soldier, so expect it to play a little bit differently. Your tactics are going to be different. Like you can't just run in there and not die. You know, you gotta hang back and strategize a little bit. But full-on campaign. They're making a whole new game, all new levels. They're not reusing stuff from Halo 3. Full 1,000-point achievements for the campaign. Bunch of new multiplayer stuff. Yeah, it sounds like a pretty solid, complete package.
All right, cool. Well, that's what they've seen so far. I went to Koei where I got jelly beans. In addition to jelly beans, this little thing. Well, Koei meets Tecmo. They're getting together, those guys. So we are going to hit the show floor and see what's left to see. It seems like most of the big stuff we've already seen. We're kind of getting down to these games that are not super huge, but maybe super crazy.
Yeah. Like a guy asked us just now, "What's the game of the show?" And we were like, "I don't know." Like there's a lot of good stuff here. There's
Street Fighter 4.
Yeah. So now, like you said, let's go see some weird stuff.
All right, we're speaking of weird stuff. Hey, what's up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna stay here and stare at the screen for the rest of the show. If that's cool.
Cool with me, dude. All right. Hello, we're here at the Sony booth. Let's take a walk around and see what they've got going on. We're going to start here at the PSP area, where they have two very big games right here. Patapon 2, Don Chaka. Here we have Ratchet and Clank. Get a good look at Ratchet's Japanese eyes. Let's play Guitar. That's not how you spell guitar. Dissidia over here, a little Final Fantasy Dissidia, which is out December 18th. Here in Japan, and look out for that. No one wants to catch a hot steaming case of Dissidia. It's rated C for everyone. Over here we have what is maybe one of the greatest game names I've ever seen, coming out in 2009 here, Diamond of the Sound of a Gunshot. I don't know. It doesn't get any more awesome than that as far as I am concerned.
I love the title alone, and I'd want to go on that adventure that involves Diamond and the sound of a gunshot.
Okay, here we are, the back side of the Sony booth. Not many people know this, but this is truly where all the action happens at the show. It's nice and dark and nice and cool, so we can hang out back here along this dark wall, and that's pretty cool, right?
I'm into it. The rest of the show is such sensory overload. It's nice to come back here and just relax a little bit, decompress.
Now we're coming around the side of the Sony area again. They're showing Metal Gear Online, which is the same thing you got with MGS4, but they broke it out into a separate game, selling it at a discounted price. So that's that. They're checking IDs for the games that are going to be rated D for dope. SmackDown vs. Raw 2009. Wrestling is kind of big over here. Like kind of, well, yeah, I mean, Japanese wrestling is obviously very big, but US wrestling gets a fair amount of play over here as well. So they're showing the PlayStation 3 version of that. That's pretty cool. And then here are kind of the front areas, or the rear areas, I should say, of the demo stations for these 17 and up games. Sonic World Adventure. That's Sonic Unleashed. That's the Japanese name for that. That's coming out here in December. MotorStorm 2. Little area for Blu-ray discs, like District B13. You know, important movies. Ultraviolet. 16 blocks. The hits. Stealth is there's nothing wrong with Stealth. Nothing wrong with Stealth.
Have you seen Stealth?
I have not seen Stealth.
Well, then where are you even coming from with this?
Dude, look at it. It's Jamie Foxx. Dude, they fly jets. Over here, they're showing off some PlayStation Home stuff a little bit. So Toro, Kuro, Suzuki, and Ricky. I like Ricky. Get that camera off there. Don't even film the side of it. You're gonna get us kicked out. And let's round it out with probably what are the two of the bigger games here. I know it's Gran Turismo 5 Prologue Spec 3, which is going to be an update for GT5 Prologue. And then down there, Little Big Planet. Little Big Planet. See, they got the spinning planet out there, and that's cool. That's it from the Sony booth, where the PlayStation 3 is king.
Hey, what's up? It's Ryan. I've been spending some quality time here at the Sony booth at TGS and going to play a handful of PSP games and a little bit of the PlayStation Network action too. Played a level in Loco Roco 2, which, hey, you played Loco Roco, it's Loco Roco 2. There's a little bit of a rhythm element to part of the stage that I played where I had to kind of hit a button in time with that really infectious Loco Roco music. I gotta say, that game shows really well. Just the cheery, kind of enthusiastic attitude of it, that comes through well in a demo. It's still gonna have to wait and see how that pans out in the full game. Also got to play some Final Fantasy Dissidia, so obviously I need to get my shots later on, but not really what I was expecting. I haven't seen a lot of that game before now, and feels a little bit more like the Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi games than a straight-up fighting game where it's kind of behind the back and you lock on targeting with your opponent. You're looking at characters from throughout the Final Fantasy series, all fighting against each other. The game looks really good. Characters look sharp. It moves really nicely. Gameplay seemed pretty simple, but it also seemed like the character that I was playing with was already leveled up, so there appears to be kind of a little bit of an RPG element to it as well. There were a couple other games that I tried playing that I could not make heads or tails of, such as A Diamond and the Sound of a Gunshot. I'd want to go on that adventure that involves Diamond and the sound of a gunshot. Starts off with a robbery, but it's all in Japanese and it's all very heavy on the text, so I had no idea what was going on there. I got to play Flower finally. It's from the people who made Flow, that game company. And it's just a gorgeous looking game, really simple. It's all motion control, so you're just kind of cruising around this huge, lush, just really amazing looking field of grass, basically pollinating, making more flowers. It seems like a really soothing experience. Perhaps TGS is not the best place to experience that, but I still got a good taste for it and definitely want to try out more. There's still so much more to see at the show, even at the Sony booth. I know there's a big ass line for, is it White Knight Story? Is a bunch of other stuff, so Yeah, well, we're going to go check it out and try and walk so that my feet don't hurt so much from standing still. What's up? It's TGS Day 2. I'm Ryan, and I'm over here at the Behemoth's Cavernous booth, and I'm joined by Tom Fulp. Tom, how's it going, man?
It's good. We're here showing Castle Crashers at the Tokyo Game Show, and it's exciting.
How's the response to Castle Crashers in Japan?
It's been pretty good so far. I don't know if you guys saw the paper craft. Do you want me to hold one up? This one fan in Japan made these little paper craft figures for Castle Crashers, so that's cool. And today and yesterday are business only, so tomorrow's when I guess the floodgates open up and the general public comes in.
So you excited for that part?
Yeah, we're really curious to see how that goes.
You've got some pretty nice television sets over here. Do you want to talk about the process of getting those set up?
Yeah, we actually walked to a Costco about half a mile from our hotel and bought 2 TVs, threw them on a cart, and wheeled the cart back to the hotel. Across all those sky bridges they have and everything over the roads. And now they're here, and we're going to give them away after the show, although they've already been claimed by people, so it's just not worth it shipping them back.
So yeah, what's, not to get totally off topic here, but yeah, what's Japanese Costco like?
Have you ever seen Idiocracy?
Yeah.
It's a lot like that, except taller.
What's the status update with the title update stuff that's been pending for Castle Crashers?
Title update is just about done. It still has to go through all the final approvals before release. We're still haggling over some little details about some things to settle out, whether to do them or not. Not things that are bugs, but things that are like little TRC related.
So, any chances of adding any additional content in this update?
We have some PDLC, but that's probably going to be released separately. No set dates or anything for that right now.
Excellent. So beyond more DLC for Castle Crashers, what does the future hold for the Behemoth?
We have another game that we're working on that we'll be announcing eventually. Yeah, no, not sure when yet.
So just eventually, so TBA on the announcement.
Yes, TBA.
Excellent. Well, Tom, thanks for your time.
Thanks. Thank you.
TGS continues.
And that's the way it was here at Tokyo Game Show 2008 as the final business day. So from here, the public gets in, which means we don't really play any more games because there are a billion, million, zillion people in here. So I think we played most of what we're going to play. Brad, what do you think of the show this year?
What?
What do you think of the show? Is it exciting?
No, not really. It's it seems emptier than it has in past years. Like emptier of big announcements. and emptier. Just seems like fewer people here the last couple of days. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I didn't go last year, and I guess that was the first year they had the 2 business day thing, so I thought maybe some of it was that since there being 2 business days, that would spread out the people that need to be here.
That's probably what it is.
Yeah. It seems like a lot of the companies that we're talking to, a lot of people from companies are basically leaving tonight or tomorrow or something like that, not even really staying in town, but we're here till like Tuesday.
Yeah, with our Ninja shrimp chips.
Yeah, there was a ninja handing out chips. So this is your first Tokyo Game Show. Now that you've basically seen what the industry side of things have to offer, what do you think?
It was interesting. You know, there's a huge culture shock that happens here. Like the first day, just my mind was just fried at the end because of it. But at the end of today, like I've kind of gotten used to ignoring the Japanese text and the smiling and nodding whenever someone speaks to me in Japanese. Hey, and yeah, it kind of just turned into a video game trade show, albeit one where there didn't seem to be a ton of games that I was super interested in seeing, and honestly, it didn't seem like there was necessarily a ton of games in general.
Yeah, I guess I echo some of that. I think that there are definitely some interesting stuff here, but a lot of it was kind of known quantities. Definitely games that had been announced before, stuff we had seen. So. But a lot of it was new. We did, got some interviews. You talked to Tom Fulp earlier.
I did. I talked to the Behemoth's Tom Fulp. Talked about kind of what they're doing in Japan and what the Japanese Costco experience is like.
Have you ever seen Idiocracy? Yeah, it's a lot like that.
So these people are all streaming out of here. I think we're going to do the same and try and hit the trains. Unfortunately, all these people are probably heading to the train that we're going to get on, so they'll be packed full. Coming up from here, we'll have cosplay action of people dressed up as other people, which is always fun. And who knows what other kind of weird shenanigans we'll get into. So
I'm coming dressed as you tomorrow, and I'm going to go stand over there. And
you're coming dressed as me?
Yeah.
They sell a costume for that? Or?
No, I made my own. A real cosplayer makes their own costume. You don't buy it off the shelf. Come on.
Okay, well, we'll have to see how that goes. See you tomorrow.
Day two. Sunglasses. Chicks with guns. Hey, all right. Tom Fulp.
Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and days of old anxiety?
Should